What's going on, guys? It is 12:39 in the morning my time, and my wife missed our last session of Lordly Caliber because she's sick, and the advantages of being married to one of your players do include that if you need to do a quick one-on-one to catch them back up with the events of the game, it's super not hard to, so we're going to do that right now. She and I, Sarah, like we did with Colin, you don't have as big of a time window as Colin had to catch back up, but you will have no more than 3 hours to do everything you need to do. Time got really wibbly-wobbly on Thursday. We were less concerned with how much time had passed and more like how many chickens did Lucia have to kill to get this 20th level? But we'll figure it out. So really quickly before we begin, as always, you are the only person here. There's no dice to roll. We will need a quick in-character reflection for your hero point, and I know we just talked about this in the car about why you've been doing it, but I am going to ask you to do a little bit more than you have been lately because I'm handing out experience for roleplay. So, like, as that experience goes up every level, you should also try a little more every level. Anyway, you have the floor.
Okay, so Emeritus made a kobold friend that rode on his shoulders.
He has a token now. You
see that friend has a token?
You see the NPCs, but you didn't see... Oh, did I take him off the map? I took him off the map.
Oh, bring him back.
Theodora got to stay, but Zol...
Oh, he's cute.
And fun fact on Zol, the rest of his body is red. Just that part of the face that needed to become gold is gold. Yeah, he has a token now. Anyway, Yay. Sorry, I should not have interrupted you.
That's okay. He made a kobold friend that rode on his shoulders, and it's nice to have people actually like him because they like him for being a person, and not just because he's a dick. Well, a dick with in power, because he was powerful son of a priest of Asmodeus.
Adopted son, who was raised in a orphanage is what those are called. Okay, yeah.
There was a haunt, and it was really scary. We just killed a big, huge monster, and that was scary too, so I didn't want to have to deal with more scary stuff. Pogue lost his girlfriend, and that was really sad, and Emeritus has never lost a loved one, so he doesn't really know how to respond or react to it, so what are you doing?
Planning. But that's good enough. Take your hero point. And make a quick perception check for me. And also do me a favor, as you roll these things, say the numbers that you get instead of like having me look at cheat.
Ooh, okay. That wasn't a good ooh, that was a natural 3.
That's a strictly better ooh than a natural 1.
Well, yeah. Well, if I do that, I'm gonna go, like I always do.
Fair enough.
But that was a total of 10.
So you start looking around, you've escaped the haunt, and there's other stragglers from the rebellion kind of just picking up the pieces around where you are. That said, it's not like there's really even much of an army left here anymore. It's just people setting up like triage centers, medical tents, gathering the wounded, burning the dying. Again, Oleg's head just boop back into existence. You show up, Zol on your shoulder, and I'm not trying to like railroad you, but this is what happened at the end of the session for your like, or at the beginning of the session rather, for the like, you're not here, I need to put you somewhere. Zol just on your shoulder, just, I like to fight, we fight, I fight! And he continues just kind of like flying figure eights over your head. You probably get like whacked in the head by his tail.
Man, you're getting real because you're like swinging your arms around to give me visual aids, and you keep almost whacking me in the head, so I...
Hey, one day when we get a super nice setup, we won't have to sit right next to each other, but for now, it dawns on you, and it dawns on me, that I'm going to go ahead and say the title of this session, because I know it, because I had a lot of time to brainstorm this. The title of this session is Darkness and Dawn. It dawns on you that you should probably make your way over to the triage center, because you are capable of channeling positive energy. You're capable, well, you're not, you're an oracle. You're capable of healing people. There's a lot of people that probably need your help right now, and you kind of just like, without saying anything to the rest of the party, you just head over to the nearest one. The floor is yours.
At the triage center?
Yeah, okay. You make your way over there. Give me one more perception check, please.
I was just going to say,
if you would.
Feels like the need for a perception check.
Time to start looking around.
Oof, that's not that much better, but...
So like a 14? 13. Okay, so these things are really ramshackle. It's kind of just tents thrown up really, really hastily by... just stragglers from the Battle of Fort Ligos and the surrounding like instant fortresses that had been set up. Do you know what the phrase a Pyrrhic victory means?
No.
Okay, basically like...
But edit that out, because I don't want to sound stupid.
Oh no, it's going in.
Damn it, Tommy.
A Pyrrhic victory is like you guys won. You have pushed back the Imperials. You guys have pushed back the reinforcements that are coming to aid Qadira, but you guys paid dearly for it. There's no one like standing outside the tent. It's just kind of like it's there. Also, you notice Zol has kind of like flown off on his own.
Okay.
You get a little too like concerned with the need to like help the wounded, and suddenly he's gone and you have no idea where. You assume he'll be fine. He's just like he's not the sharpest kobold in the like box of kobolds.
They're in boxes?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I'm guessing Arundel isn't here because it looks ramshackled.
You don't see it. Him.
Alright.
So you go in the tent, and as soon as you go in, it's kind of like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire style. You go in, and the whole place is a lot bigger, and it's kind of like you had stepped into like the first room is the wrong place. Wrong way to say it, but I also don't want to say like the welcome center for the emergency room, but it's that idea. There's several doors at like 15-degree angles from each other set up in what is essentially just a wooden wall. There's what races don't we use a lot? Let me see what tokens I have hanging out, actually. I'd planned for an NPC. Oh, there's Van. We'll use one of the random priests of Dalanidra. He greets you. You don't know him, he doesn't know you, but like your attire and the fact that one of your god's servants is hanging, one of your goddess's servants is hanging from your hip instantly identifies you as a priest of Sarenrae. And he, oh, good, we need all the help we can get. Kind of like with one arm goes around your shoulder and with one arm kind of like he's leading you on, essentially, into like the closest room, just continuing on and on about like how many people are wounded and like they need every hand they can get to help the dying. And he kind of just like pushes you into the door, essentially. Do you have any reactions?
I'll probably go and help, but I'm probably feeling a little overwhelmed because this guy is just kind of like, whoop.
He's not trying to be like terrible.
I know he's not, but I'm probably pretty like.
Make another perception check.
Easily overwhelmed. Yay, this one's higher. 26.
Okay, so as soon as you pass the threshold of one of these doors, the sound of people like suffering overwhelms you. It becomes really apparent to you that all of these various rooms are silenced in such a way that like in this room you can't hear like somebody else suffering in another, and from like the main room you can't hear the sounds of anyone hurting, anyone like crying out in pain, just to keep like an aura of peace and calm. You assume there's some people around here who are immune to that, because like that's terrible if someone's screaming nurse at the top of their lungs and no one can hear them. But...
Oh, okay. I was like, immune to suffering? That sounds nice.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so there's probably about a dozen cots here, arranged like 6 on this side, 6 on that side. And most of them appear to be like, they're lighter skinned than most of the people you've seen. They appear to be Imperial soldiers, with the exception of like the bed closest to like, again, if I say there's 6 beds yonder, 6 beds on the other side, like on the right hand side in the middle, like there's a bed there and there's a little like boot in the middle of the bed, but you can't see what is there. A lot of these people are like they're definitely suffering. Somebody's missing an arm, probably somebody like lots of burns, lots of bruises, but they've all been like stabilized, and you get the idea that like, oh, someone is wounded, quick, stabilize them, put them in a bed, and just like get everyone to not imminent danger of death, and then like move on.
I see. All right.
The man who pushed you in this room is no longer here.
Suppose the first thing I'll do is go over to whoever looks like they need the help the most, and if they all look equally and then I'll probably help this person.
Okay, they're all about the same. Like I said, everyone's stable. No one's in immediate danger of death right now.
Okay.
There again, it's like the only variable is there's a bed where you can't see the person, but
okay.
there's a like lump under the like crappy little blanket that's thrown over it to indicate there's something under there. You just like there's no head popping out the top.
Are they dead?
You don't know. You assume no, but maybe.
Okay.
They're not moving.
Certainly, I want like.
But no one really is moving a whole lot either.
I don't want to be like, oh, what's under here? Oh, a dead person. I cover it back up, because that's usually like what they do when people die. Is they put the blanket over the head.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, ooh, Oh, nope, nothing under there. So I guess I'll go look.
Okay, so you pull back the sheet, I guess. Not to take away your agency. Hey, Van. This is just what Sarah was doing for the past, like, the last session. When she didn't make it, I'm just catching her up, giving her some extra stuff, and she'll get her item at level 8. Anyway, Van's here, guys. Anyway, you pull back the sheet, and, like, it doesn't take long after, like, you probably get about halfway up before a little, like, eyeball comes over the top of it, and you pull back a little farther, and it is Marcella. It's that little Gripply. She has, bruises all over her body. One of her legs is hanging out awkwardly at an angle. She's pretty beat up, like everyone else here, but she's stable. She looks up at you and she kind of like half smiles a little. You get the feeling that like part of her, like the right side of her jaw, we'll say, is broken, and that's about all she can manage.
Okay. Sarah's sad. Emeritus will probably cast. I think I got cure critical wound.
Yeah, and you guys have rested. You rested in the haunt.
Yeah.
Okay, will you roll percentage dice for me?
I don't like the sound of that, but sure. $44.
You're a Serenite cleric, so you're like, when you channel positive energy, it's probably a lot of like fire bursts forth from your hands, and it like
Fire, real fire or good fire?
like holy fire. Like your goddess is the goddess of fire and the sun.
I don't want to hurt her with real fire, so it's not gonna hurt her, right?
You go to cast it. You put your hand like on her shoulder, and as you do so, the like white blue flames turn like blackish purple, and you kind of like you feel a little queasy. She starts like some of her bruises start to like heal, and her jaw kind of like realigns, and then she like her eyes go really wide and she starts convulsing.
Uh-oh, bad.
She dies.
What? Really?
Really, she dies.
Oh.
Some of the other patients in this room, like they see you come in and they all kind of perk up a little, and then they see this, and a lot of like confused moaning, I guess, because she's like they're all pretty beat up, begins to like echo around the room. And you get a little like flash of insight in your mind, but no, that sounds wrong because that's not flat. You're not Xandu. You kind of like zone out a little bit, and that's Xandu-y too, but whatever. To a day where you were promised in service to Asmodeus, you would be given greater reward for your like devotion and dedication, and you're wondering. Well, you don't wonder. You know that your greater reward has come to fruition now, and without rolling a knowledge religion, you know you just cast harm on her when she had like 2 hit points and she's very dead. People are making about that noise, confused, just what's going on and sad moanings from beat up people.
But that's not what I know. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to do that. Why did I do that? That's not what I wanted to do.
But that is what happened.
How can I what, bring her back? How do I get her back?
Well,
no.
You can make a knowledge religion check, I guess, if you'd like. Natural 1. Okay, so what happens?
Took away my only friend.
What happens is, you begin contemplating the whys, and you like take a step a little too far back from Marcella's bed, and your hand like swings back into another cot. You don't cast anything, nothing bad happens, but the person next to you, he looks up and he sees that you're doing this, and he probably had the best view of what went down, and he begins to like pull away from you and like grab the like side of his cot to pull himself out of his cot to get away from you. And it's around this time that you see he's been like from the waist down, there's nothing. He was bifurcated. Well, not bifurcated, cut in half, whatever that is. He's been stabilized. He's not bleeding out, but he kind of like with a loud thunk falls to the ground and begins like actively pulling himself away from you. People start freaking out a whole lot more now.
I have to save Marcella. I have to figure out how to bring her back. I don't know because I nat 1.
Yeah, you have no idea. You know it's been really hard to bring people back from the dead for a long time.
Apparently there's a lot of dead people out there. I don't know what to do. I didn't kill my only friend. Ugh.
Okay, the freaking out intensifies. A lot more people, as you like agonize over what you've just done, people start like, not all of them are bifurcated, but a lot of them are actively trying to get away from you, and they're like calling out for help from not you at pretty much the top of their voice, but you know this room is silenced and nobody's gonna hear them, with the exception of like maybe like a high priest or something like that. But in any case, nobody's coming in.
I'm gonna try calm everybody down. I don't know how much good that will do, but try and calm everybody down.
So this is like a diplomacy check, I guess. Okay.
27.
I'll just throw some percentage dice up here. Okay, a couple people simmer down a little, but the guy who's missing his legs continues to just like pull himself on the floor away from you. Actually, he seems to be moving towards a desk that's kind of like set up by one of the beds. It looks kind of like flimsily made, just kind of like a couple of little like, kind of like the nightstand by our bed, I'll say. It's kind of like that. A couple of like little shelves held together with some like little tiny wooden pillars.
Okay.
They promised us mercy if we would surrender. I'm not gonna die here. As he crawls towards that desk.
Emeritus. Bad.
Will Emeritus make a sense motive check for me? You roll
right.
a lot of 11s. It's not a bad thing. It's one more one that you want to see, classically speaking.
That's true. I can't read numbers today. 24.
24. It looks like he's gonna go, like, smash that desk and grab some of the, like, little wooden bits to make, like, a makeshift weapon.
Oh, no! That's not what I want.
It's not. But, like, a day ago, this guy was your enemy, and from what he's saying, and it tracks with Serenites, that, like, your faith will offer, well, the faith that has adopted you will offer mercy to their enemies. Once, if they don't take it, they'll smite them. But if they do take it, it's like mercy is a big part of your religion, and this guy looks pretty betrayed. Like, people brought him somewhere safe, stripped him of his gear, stabilized him, offered him mercy, and then here you come as the executioner.
I'll leave and try and find somebody else.
Will you make a reflex save for me?
Ha! Here we go.
Is that a natural 1?
No,
it's a natural 3.
5.
Okay. That's not a 5. That is a 5. Okay, never mind. Shadows.
11.
Okay, so as you begin to, like, think about, I need to go find help and move for the door, your, I shouldn't say your scimitar because it has a name. Mist Morning flies from its sheath and, like, orients itself, blade pointing towards you, like, between you and the door, as if to, like, prevent you from leaving. And,
Why? I'm trying to help.
This thing, in true speech, you hear in your head, probably, yeah, you would hear it in your head, just, pull yourself together! You wanted to join our faith, you wanted absolution and redemption, now prove it! We're here to help you, we're here to save your soul, but did you think you could forswear yourself to one of the most powerful devils in the multiverse and walk away from that scot-free? These people need your help, these people need our redemption, do something.
I'm trying to get somebody else in here because clearly I'm just messing everything up.
The sword doesn't respond and continues to, like, point. It probably is about, like, level with where your throat would be at the door. Like, here's you. People on YouTube can't see my hands. The sword, again, it's about as high off the ground as your throat with, like, the pommel in the door, essentially. At this point, everyone starts freaking out. The people who are capable of, like, getting up in the bed, they do so. Most of them have pretty severe burns or, like, broken bones, lacerations that are, like, they're not bleeding, they've been stabilized, but they're really beat up, but they're all freaking out. Nobody comes to your aid. These people all watch you, as far as they know, just murder somebody. Somebody in the back just kind of, like, I know him! He's an Asmodean priest! He's here to kill us all!
Oh my god. No, I'm not.
But that's what he thinks. And you did just channel a crap ton of negative energy into something.
Okay. I'm gonna try casting something else, I guess, and see if it does things. Let's...
Okay.
But do it, like, in an isolated way.
Okay. There's not any way for you to do that. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. You could cast Cure Light Wounds on yourself, but you can't, like, I'm gonna turn where they can't see me and then cast Cure Light Wounds because there's a somatic component. They will hear you. Not to mention, like, every eye in the room is on you right now.
Yeah, I know. This is...
And also, you hear, like, the crack of wood as that guy has finally made its way to a desk, and he's made, essentially a couple of shivs. Well, no, he can't, because how's he moving? He's made one shiv, and the other hand is, like, he's pulling himself towards you.
No, okay.
This morning does not respond to this.
I'm gonna try and cast, like, less, but, like, do it in a, like, way that wouldn't, like, wouldn't actually bane people, because that would not help.
Well, I mean,
my
you
cause.
can treat them as not your allies. It could just target you. You're the one who decides who your allies are, so that's, like, you could do that.
That's not a bad idea.
But they will be aware that
But this guy is, like, crawling towards me actively. I don't really have time.
Yeah, you do. He's not moving very fast. You've got time, if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, let's try that real quick.
The spell resolves, and you cast Bless on yourself.
Okay, so that's fine.
The man continues to just, like, for the glory of the Empire! As he, like, crawls. He's probably actually... I'm trying to imagine how he puts his one hand forward to, like, grab a bit of, like, the floor and, like, pull himself. It's really awkward. There's nothing really for him to grab. Because, like, you're probably a little closer to the middle of the room now, so he can't, like, grab a bed and, like propel himself bed to bed. So he almost kind of just has to, like, roll on the floor.
Okay. Words aren't gonna be very helpful here. I could try... that might not go well either. I was gonna say, like, look, I'm nice, and then bless everybody. Then I've not only might that not work, because it might bless myself and bane everybody else, but I also might
bless the guy who wants to hurt you.
To stab me.
Yeah. You get the feeling, like, I mean, he's a trained soldier, but he's not... The guy who's coming at you, but he's not in the best situation to be able to do anything.
Probably isn't trained to stab me while legless.
I mean, it's more like he doesn't have a weapon. He just has, like, a gigantic splinter, more or less. He'll try his very best. Old Emeritus would probably just see him as pathetic.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Your scimitar starts kind of, like, edging close to you. Well, no, Mist Morning. It's not your scimitar. It now starts edging closer to you. You were offered your chance at redemption. We gave it to you, but if you don't want it, we can send you to hell. They continue, just, like, floats towards you. The man is probably getting pretty close to you at this point. Yeah, it's not going to be much longer before he's able to attack you. Mechanically, you wager you have, like, one more action before he's going to try to ram that shiv into your foot.
Okay. Explain that, like, I used to be a priest of Asmodeus, and I'm trying to help you guys, but as Asmodeus, my time serving him is coming to haunt me, right? Terminology.
It's not ineffective. Well, rather, it's not, like, the wrong terminology.
And
yeah, if you want to roll the diplomacy check, that's fine. You're giving me enough. That's almost a natural one. She rolled a 13.
29.
Okay. It will be opposed by his will save. He doesn't roll a d100. He rolls a d20.
Oh, good.
He probably adds, like, this. Okay. The man gets, like, right up to you. He raises his arm back, and again, like, this just awkward long wooden shiv just comes up, and he stops and he looks up at you. He doesn't seem sympathetic. He doesn't seem not angered. He's not actively trying to drive that shiv into your foot right now either. You get the feeling you only have his attention for a little while longer.
Alright. I guess, time working at a daycare center is really rubbing off, because all I want to do is, like, rub his head and go, shh. So I guess I could try something similar and just be like, it's okay, friend. I'm sorry. Give him a gentle touch to show him that I mean no harm. Say something like, why don't you get back into the bed and rest, friend?
I gotta try a diplomacy check.
Alright, a 34.
It is opposed by his will save. He looks back in the direction of his bed. It's not that far from where you two are, but he can't exactly put himself in reverse right now. It's not to say he couldn't, like, turn himself around awkwardly and move for the bed, but he's not going to turn his back. Your sword is still kind of, like, it's stopped, but it's not much farther behind him. And it's still positioning itself between you and the door.
Okay. I'll try and like offer to scoop him up in a dignifying manner. I don't want to like pick him up like a baby. So
He allows you to pick him up.
Put him in the bed and
Okay.
like.
What's your strength score?
11.
Yeah, you're fine. You can
I can cast bull strength though, so.
I had it in my head you had like 8 strength. You're fine. You're good. You're fine. So he's back in bed. He still has his shiv. He hasn't dropped it.
Okay.
He just kind of looks at you. If your sword had eyes, it'd be looking at you. And probably like the room has gone a little quieter. People are probably just kind of like whimpering.
What I can do for right now is, well, I could try and cast Cure Light Wounds on myself and see if that translates into harm for myself.
You could. Do you want to do so?
I'll give it a try.
The spell functions.
As Cure Light Wounds?
Yeah, you don't hurt yourself.
But I'm still worried about hurting other people, so I'll probably just try and like make heal checks and try and like take care of them without the use of magic.
Okay. Make us knowledge religion. That would be what that is. I wanted to say sense motive, but not only can you not beat Asmodeus's bluff, but it's not. This is more accurate.
14.
So lies in deception and like loopholes and contracts are all in Asmodeus's wheelhouse. Just because it worked on you doesn't mean it won't necessarily work on someone else. It doesn't do him any good to have you just kill yourself and like, oops, I nuked myself and harmed myself and I'm dead, haha. That doesn't, like, it doesn't prolong people's suffering. It doesn't bring more souls to hell.
So what you're saying is
What I'm saying mechanically is you can cast Cure Light Wounds and other like positive energy spells on yourself with no repercussions. A heal check doesn't help a lot of these people. Well, it can, I guess, but like you're talking about, especially like, well, he's probably a little too far gone. He's waiting on somebody to guess regenerate. But like even the people that have like open wounds and stuff, they're gonna take days, if not weeks, to heal, and you're still an hour from the border with Taldor.
Okay, so
they're all stable. No one's in active danger of dying. They might have like open wounds, but they are like magically like imagine like a magical layer of Neosporin over that guy's like the lower half of him. He's not gonna like get an infection and like die from sepsis or something like that. Make a will save.
Oh no, what's happening? 15.
Okay, that does fail.
I don't like
you. You get the feeling you're being watched. I'll say, yeah.
Who's scrying on me?
You don't know. And you don't even know if it's scrying, but...
Well, I know, but that's you. If I get the feeling I'm being watched, sounds like scry.
It kind of does, yeah. You could make some kind of check if you wanted.
I do have Knowledge Arcana. Let's take a check. 15.
Someone's cast Detect Thoughts on you.
I don't think I like that.
You probably don't. Your sword continues... Damn it! Mist Morning is not your sword right now, and it continues to hover just closer to you.
Okay.
Roll to hit yourself. As you do so, that is now within your threat range, because your sword. Damn it! I'm gonna say that.
16?
Yes, it is now within your threat range. Let me finish. Mist Morning begins glowing with a bright, like, white hot light as it just like swings down on you. You need to roll to confirm.
27, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, that is 27.
I'll roll your damage. Okay, so you take 8 fire damage, and you take 18 maximum damage from your critical hit, as your sword just kind of like gashes across your chest from like probably about like your shoulder to like the top of your rib cage. You get the feeling it's kind of beyond words at this point. You know Serenites are all about redemption, but only once, and if they don't want redemption, then you're put to the sword, and you think that this like herald, excuse me, of Sarenrae is done with your stuff and is ready to send you to Pharasma.
I guess what I can do is go to somebody else who looks pretty convinced of that I'm trying.
Okay. Everyone is beat up enough that they need to be in bed. Everybody is beat up enough that, like, if they were to take a direct hit from something, it'd be bad for them. But there's people that, like, even just like a little bit of positive energy mechanically would tick them over into positive hit points?
I'll just talk to somebody and be like, I can try and heal you, but it might end badly.
Okay.
I guess.
Across the room from you. I'll say it's another human because they're all Imperial soldiers that were offered redemption. He doesn't say anything, but he nods. He's scared, but like as you move across the room, your sword kind of stays like hovering behind you. In the kind of like if it was in a person's hand, it's up, ready to swing down.
Let's try like cure like light wound, I guess.
Okay. It resolves. Again, you're a Serenite cleric, so as positive energy fills your hand, it's probably like white hot holy fire, and you like it's probably pretty tentative for you, I imagine, as you like put your hand down on this person's shoulder, but his wounds knit together, his like the shoulder probably you put your hand on snaps back into place. The spell resolves successfully. He feels a lot better. You can tell like from the look on his face, everyone kind of like as he like picks himself up out of bed. It's a little awkward, but he goes over to, well, it's not that awkward. It's kind of like if you were in the hospital and you got yourself up out of the bed in the hospital and started like cleaning a part of the hospital that was dirty. But that's what he's doing. That's pretty much in your wheelhouse anyway. But like he goes to like that table that had been like broken and he starts like sweeping it all together with his hands.
That sounds sexist as shit. You gotta clarify that you're not being like...
No, I'll just clarify that you like to clean stuff.
You're not being like
also,
really misogynistic here.
Watch your profanity.
I know. I gotta make sure people know you're not being super misogynistic here.
Yeah, I guess so. So what do you do next?
Guess
this morning kind of like it lowers itself a little bit.
Okay.
But it says nothing to you and takes no further actions. It stays really close to you.
Yeah, I guess I'll go now that people are more trusting, but their trust could be lost if I hurt them.
Everyone's kind of confused right now. Comfort is kind of out the window because you just killed a Gripply and healed a human. So
maybe I'm racist.
Maybe you're racist. It would track you from Cheliax.
Again, explain. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't want to hurt you.
Okay. There's definitely everyone's okay with it now. They're confused, but they're willing to let it like go off.
I'll try another cure light wound.
All right, roll the percentage dice. You're pretty tentative as you like go in to cast it, and it kind of you probably hear like maniacal laughter. No, not maniacal. Devilish, we'll say, laughter in the back of your head as you reach down to touch him, and the holy fire turns purple, and he starts convulsing. A bit of his flesh probably gets eaten away.
Ah, crap. Okay.
People gasp.
Stabilize is probably risky too. I have stabilize. That's probably risky too. I'm scared now.
Only one way to find out.
Okay, I will hesitantly cast it. I'm scared.
Okay, you're fine. You can stabilize him.
Okay.
His wounds close. Again, that like magical layer of neosporin goes over the part of his shoulder where there's no longer flesh and the bone is exposed. Mist Morning continues to just kind of hover next to you. It's not actively like ready to strike you.
I could try again.
Go for it.
Well,
hold on. Actually, don't go for it. How many first level spells can you cast per day?
8.
8, then go for it.
I was just gonna say.
I lied.
This would be my 3rd.
No, you cast Bless. It is your 4th.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
Well, wait. Yeah, it's your 4th, because I assume you weren't tracking the Bless. 21. Okay, yeah. You have... An action point would increase it, but not by enough. What are you casting?
Light wounds.
It's inflict moderate. He's not dead, but he's really close.
Okay. I guess it's cast stabilize again.
That is a cantrip, and it does resolve. But now there's like a second hole in his flesh.
Sorry, I can't do this. Ah!
You think that? So roll to hit yourself.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, I can't do this. And in response, Mist Morning swings into your gut. Roll to hit yourself. That's not in his threat range on a natural 12, thankfully.
That's a 23, though.
So 4 points of that is fire damage, but 3 points of that is non-lethal. This time it kind of just, like, the flat of the blade slaps you in the stomach.
This is very stressful.
Well, you didn't think it would be easy to abandon your loyalty to the Prince of Darkness, did you?
Probably go to help somebody different, maybe. instead. Oh.
Okay, roll percentage dice. This is not for like, whoops, negative energy, you kill him, but roll percentage dice.
80.
Okay, there's somebody, that was a waste. There's somebody who's about as beat up as that guy was before you showed up, not far away. Looks like he was like slashed across the eyes, and his eyes are like wrecked and useless. He kind of like, he hears you coming, and he's just, what happened to Belisarius? I don't hear him anymore. Who are you? What's going on?
I'll explain to him what's happening and that I can't control what's going on.
Your sword does follow you.
I bet. Doesn't want to give me some space. Cursed, I guess is the right word.
You are an oracle.
Getting cursed by Asmodeus, and it's making my healing spells hurt people, and I don't like it, and I'm trying to help people, but I can't, and ask if he is willing to, I could try and heal him, but it might end badly.
Make a diplomacy check.
25.
He just kind of leans his head forward in response to almost like, well, yeah, he goes like to like, he can't see where he's going, but he kind of just pushes his head forward and sets it like where he imagines your hands might be. He kind of probably just like hits you with the ribs.
So is he
probably where your bruise is from where this morning just smacked you, but it's that same idea, trying to like, he's just offering himself to be healed.
I will try it.
You do have 2 action points.
99.
You aren't powerful. Well, you might be if you try to cure critical. You might be able to fix his sight. As it stands, you kind of just like the gash across his eyes completely heals away as if it wasn't there, but his eyes are still pretty messed up. He kind of just and his body relaxes in your hands as like it feels good. The holy fire of Sarenrae washes over him and his wounds begin to knit. Can you do something about my eyes?
I can try. Try my best. I'll try another cure light. Or would that require
That would require a cure critical wounds to fix the damage.
I'll try. 79 or 76.
And you cast cure critical wounds? That's enough to restore his sight. His like grayed out eyes turn a vibrant blue, and he kind of blinks a couple times because the light kind of like overwhelms him, and he's just, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Belisarius, where are you? He sits up. Is he breathing? What's going on?
He's fine. He's just unconscious.
Well, go help him.
I don't want to risk killing him.
Okay, roll to hit yourself. Natural 2.
I guess this is a good time to natural 2. That's a 13.
So it probably like just kind of glances off your armor. Make a heal check.
Heal check?
I'm really glad that's going to be called medicine moving forward.
15.
Okay, so cure light wounds, if it becomes inflict moderate wounds, which is essentially what happens, that'll kill him no problem. If cure light wounds resolves, it won't be enough to bring him back up. You're going to need at least a cure moderate.
But I don't want to kill him.
You're going to kill him either way.
Alright, I'll try and help.
Right, roll percentage dice.
4.
That's a 4. Okay, so make a reflex save.
This is scary. The 17.
Actually, that shouldn't have been a reflex save. Pretend that was an attack roll. What is it?
An attack roll?
Yeah. Pretend it was just like a touch attack.
22.
22. Okay. As the positive energy quickly ticks over to negative energy, and Miss Morgan just kind of like slaps your hand away. It does not riposte.
I have cure serious,
which would become an inflict critical. But it would definitely, if that resolves, that would more than bring him up.
Try.
Okay, go for it. Roll percentage die. You really could just roll the 10s, please.
60.
It resolves. The man has a name now. His name is Belisarius. he rolls over in his grave somewhere in Eastern Europe. But you reach your hand out, the fire consumes his body, his flesh is healed, the bits that have been like eroded away by negative energy like rapidly grow their flesh back, and he just kind of sits up. He's a little wide-eyed and he's a little afraid of you because you hurt him and he knows it. But he just kind of, thank you.
I'm sorry for hurting you. I can't really control it.
I understand. He picks himself up. He goes over to, I'm out of Byzantine names. To Google. Isidorus, your eyes! And he kind of like looks over and they hug.
Aww.
I'm so glad you're feeling better. And Isidorus just nods, and he's still kind of rubbing his eyes because of the light. There are still, that's 3 people. 2 people have been healed, 1 person is dead. We've still got 9 more beds.
Can't.
One of which is very beyond your ability to heal. The one that's missing the lower half of himself. Mist Morning continues to it's not trying to attack you. It hasn't returned to your sheath or hand yet. It just kind of follows you around.
I have your moderate wounds.
Okay.
And I have 7 of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I've used any. So.
All right. Well, you can definitely approach the next person. Everyone at this point is about the same. Enough negative energy will push anyone over to death for sure, but it's not going to take a whole heck of a lot of positive energy to get them up. They were just put here. Again, it's a triage center. It's kind of a bad triage center, come to think of it. Someone, this guy needs help right now. Well, these guys are all just kind of bad. Put them in that room.
Yeah, it's bad. There's a dude walking
But there's
around
also
hurting.
massive scale, really big battle just ended. And everyone's at okay. It's just a matter of get a doctor there, and right now you're the doctor.
I can keep trying till I run out of spells.
That is true. Is that what you want to do?
Suppose so. Right. If I don't, then I'm gonna get slapped around by my sword.
Fair enough. Alright, roll the percentage dice.
I guess. Ah!
Okay, that's either 100 or... Did you roll the 10s? Or the 1s, rather? Did
just,
you just roll that? So that could have been 100.
Yeah, I guess let's...
If that's a 0, it's 100, but it's a 5. Yeah, again, Miss Morning slaps your hand aside.
This is fun.
There's probably a little bit of reassuring, just keep trying.
Okay.
We'll get through this together, but you have to try. Give up and convert to evil, and I will put you down myself. Try, and we'll get through it.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Okay. You are free to do so. I hope you're tracking your spells. I'm way too tired
I'm
to
at
track.
4.
Okay.
It's a 50 on the nose.
50 on the nose is enough. You heal him. He gets up.
Okay.
He thanks you. He might be an Ulfin mercenary because I'm tired of Byzantine names now. Nope, we're doing this. We decided Taldor was going to be a big part of this campaign, and thus I need names. I don't like Leo. Leo's fine. Well, he doesn't introduce himself. He just gets up. Thank you. Those 3, they get up and they begin moving to the door. The door opens for them. They walk out.
I guess go to the next person and try assure them that I'm not trying to hurt them and cast cure moderate wounds.
Okay, go for it. Without playing with the cat.
I'm not trying to play with him. I'm trying to keep him from
hitting that power stroke.
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be bad. We'll roll the percentage dice.
Suddenly, boop! That's not percentage.
That's a D20. That will fail. Oh, look, I got a 20. I fail.
Thanks, Tasker. You messed me up. Oh, that's a 30.
Okay. You know the drill. It turns into negative energy.
Alright, this one's higher. 24.
You do kill him. This Morning is just barely unable to stop you in time. She probably bumps your hand. It probably bumps your hand, and you kind of just you graze a little bit of your pointer finger against the man's his chest, and that's enough because you've touched him, and he convulses, and as he does so, This Morning it comes down, it flips over to where not to attack you, but it's moved up to parry you, and it has to go an upward motion as if you're swinging the sword up like this. And it kind of just flips over and lands on his chest, and positive energy floods him, and he convulses a little bit, and he gets back. He looks really confused as the scimitar kind of just lifts off him, and it flies into your sheath again. Actually, before it flies into your sheath, it goes up in the air and it kind of begins drawing a figure 8, essentially flying through the air, right? And a burst of holy fire erupts from it. As that happens, the man without legs regrows his legs. The man, everybody is at least a little bit hurt, and they all regenerate. Everybody gets back up. Everyone's really confused. Well, not confused. They're probably more awed that this has happened to them. They look at you. Well, no, they don't. They've all seen this sword attack you. They know there's more to the sword. They look at the sword and they thank you so much, and they kind of just like look at you, look at the sword, look at you, and they all just kind of begin making their way toward the door. Well, make a perception check.
Where is this coming from, man? Boop. 14.
Okay, so this man just kind of bursts through the door. He's fully garbed in the attire of an imperial officer. He has his longsword and his shield, longsword drawn, shield raised. I don't need to say shield raised. This isn't Pathfinder 2nd edition. Whatever, you get the idea. You're not sure how he got here. You're not sure what's going on. As he moves closer to you, you see he kind of has a bit of a limp. And, like, your eye is drawn to his left leg, and you see he's kind of, like... It looks like something happened to his foot in the battle, like perhaps, like, a spear went through it or something, and he doesn't have full use of it.
So he's... This dude's attacking me.
He looks like he wants to fight you, yeah.
And but he's limpy.
Make a sense motive check.
Is he, like, attacking me because I won't heal him? Is he attacking me because I hurt his
Oh,
friend?
he just showed up. He doesn't know. You get the idea that this guy is another Imperial soldier that was, like, he was captured is the wrong word, but that's bad. He's taken into custody, we will say. After the battle, somehow he was able to get out of his cot, find some semblance of his own gear, and he's determined to not give the fight up yet, but he was brought to this tent because he was wounded.
So, okay. Perhaps I can calm him down a bit.
Mist Morning hums with, like, not like, but, well, kind of. Mist Morning, like, you can feel in your mind, I guess, like, the beginning of Mist Morning's fight or flight reflex. Psychologically speaking, like, the potential energy about to turn into kinetic energy, it's ready to, like, spring up.
Alright.
But it doesn't act.
Alright, I'll try and, like, I don't have much time, but I'll try and be like, whoa, 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 slow down, sir. And, like, maybe get ready to, like, see if I can heal him, and then maybe he will come down.
So you say what you said before you roll, and he continues just limping towards you. I don't need any of your mercy. They told us in Apara all about the cult of the Dawnflower. You're just going to sacrifice us anyway. My men might be stupid, but I'm not. I might not be able to take on all of you, but I can take you. Now make your diplomacy check.
Try to help, sir. 30.
It is opposed by his will save. He does not add 20. He probably has like that. Okay, he slows down a little bit. He doesn't stop, but he, I want to say he, like, his step falters a little bit, but he's already walking with a limp. So, his step falters even more. No one's offered me mercy my entire life. I'm not about to take it from you.
I'll try and heal him, or cure moderate to make his leg better.
All
Maybe then he'll feel a little less grumpy.
Before you roll the percentage dice, that does provoke from him. So
crap.
go ahead
Okay.
and, do you want to cast defensively?
Yes, I do.
Alright, go ahead and roll that d20.
That
Yes,
okay.
That would work for combat casting for sure. That's literally what that feat's for.
Yes. Yes, it is.
What are you casting?
Cure moderate.
Level of spell? 2?
Yes.
So you needed to get a 19 and you rolled it with...
Yes.
You got it on the die. You got it but -1 with combat casting. Okay. Now you need to make a touch attack. That hits. A natural 18 on the die is more than enough to break the touch of, like, a human fighter.
76.
The percentage dice say that the cure spell succeeds. His leg, there's probably a little bit of a snap as the fire, because the bone has to reset itself, right? So this is foot, so it's probably like 212 bones at once, just like stepping on bubble wrap as this thing resets itself. He stops as you do this. He, like, touch attacks don't provoke, but he's still, like, his sword is up. He's ready to, like, bring it down on you, and then the positive energy fills him, and his leg resets itself. He looks down at himself. He kind of, like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
I was trying to kill you. Do you have no sense of what's going on here?
I'm sorry if that this wasn't the right thing to do. I'm just trying to help people. I'll give him a brief explanation of who I am, and, like, tell him, like, I used to be a priest of Asmodeus, but then all this stuff happened, and now, now I'm kind of here trying to find a place. Getting real with this random guy who just tried to kill me.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so he's still just like, he understands where you're coming from, and you say that you used to worship Asmodeus, and he just, so you're one of, well, you look Chelish. So if it wasn't for your people, if the Chelish didn't have our emperor by the coin purse right now, we'd flood this place and deal with you in one swift blow. I don't think you understand the gravity of what's going on here. My word is my bond, and my honor is my word. I won't strike down someone who helped me. And he actively sheathes his sword and sheathes his shield. Sure, we all get it. It goes back in his inventory. And
happens in like all the video games. They just like make a motion towards their back and it disappears.
Whoops, it's gone. And he make a knowledge religion check.
17.
So you didn't do it intentionally, but like the faith you've found yourself a member of is all about redemption, all about like if people can be spared, if people can be brought back to the light, that's what's like, that's your calling, that's the purpose of the faith. And he doesn't seem to get that. You might not either. It kind of just like dawns on you that that's what's up here.
But for me to heal him?
For you to offer him mercy and redemption and stuff like that. It's not so much about the healing, it's so much about like the chance to be someone else. Everyone is like, no one is just unredeemable, I guess. Yeah. All right, Miss Morning in its scabbard kind of a pommel jabs you in the ribs.
Why?
You can make a sense motive check if you'd like.
22.
Okay, you get your powers from a deity. You pray to Sarenrae every morning in exchange for spells. Sarenrae has every right at any time, for any reason, if she wants to remove those spells from you, if you don't like live up to the creed of a follower of Sarenrae. And like, I'm just here trying to figure out what's going on with me is not living up to the creed of a Sarenrae. And like, I'll go even farther and say you get the feeling if you continue on that path, you'll essentially fall from grace.
Why? Is it because I'm not, like, telling this guy, like, you have been redeemed, but only once. Here you go.
You can make a knowledge religion check.
Or, well, is it that, or is it, like... Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh. 10.
That's part of it. It's certainly deeper than that. It's probably one of the oldest religions on Galarion. It goes deeper than that, but that's one of the core tenets. Actually, let me just bring up this tab I opened. We're gonna have some reading time. Here we go. I understand the faith, but I don't understand it necessarily as well as I could. I guess like what happens is Mist Morning continues to prod you and telepathically Sarenrae's paladin code, though of course unless you decide to take paladin levels it's not like strictly on you, but that's basically like especially in wartime what people would like, that's your expected creed. I'm not gonna read it all out here, but protect your allies, destroy evil, be fair to everyone, don't throw away your life needlessly, redeem the ignorant by word and action, and if they won't be redeemed, kill them. Don't tolerate evil and fight it when you can't, like, if you can't dissuade someone, you fight them. You don't, like, a key part of this is you don't turn away from your faith, and you don't, like, you're not embarrassed by it. This is you, this is what defines you. It might not have been what you chose, both, like, as a character and as a PC, or as a player, rather. But, that's you now, and that's, like, you need to abide by that if you want to keep these powers, and this is obviously a pivotal point, because you're a very special case. Technically speaking, you should be dead by now in the eyes of most Serenites. Like, if Kazuha would show up, or if he would have shown up and seen this, it's within his wheelhouse, and any other, or even, like, Mustafa might have just, like, killed you.
But I'm trying my best.
But they don't think that, because you aren't, like, you're being shy about it. You're, basically, like, what you get is the time has come for you to put your big boy shoes on, or pick another deity. but picking another deity probably means your immediate death, because one of the like top servants of that deity is actively following you around and will very much oppose you walking away from the faith, probably. Well, maybe not necessarily. If you were to convert to like Yomade worship, they would kill you. That wouldn't happen. But there's a lot of dark stuff going on here.
I guess I'll talk to about how...
Oh, let me actually, I'm seeing the last bit of the Paladin Code. Each day is another step toward perfection. I will not turn back into the dark. I won't say Sarenrae is fanatical, but I will say the followers of Sarenrae you're with right now are pretty fanatical. And so, like, abandoning the faith might be seen as, turning back to the dark, you die. That kind of thing.
I'm not abandoning my faith, I'm just...
Again, in the eyes of the fanatics.
I guess I'll talk to him about how I was redeemed, and I'll give him a little spiel like that.
Thank you. I don't know where I should go from here. It is around this time that the door bursts open and another man dressed not unlike... Well, no, we can do it.
Well, I get an attack.
It's around this time that the door bursts open and a div runs in. It's not like a Sepide. I'm gonna say Sepide. That sounds better. It's not like a Sepide. You're not in a lot of trouble, but it's one of those ones that like had the like weird, awkward-looking eyes that would stare at you, and your flesh would zit away to bestokers. One of those runs in, and as that happens, with no thought from you, Mistmourning flies out of its sheath, spins. It manifests itself. It's kind of awkward, but the blade, like, it straightens out and kind of becomes conical, and it manifests itself as a celestial unicorn and just kind of like charges into him and gores the div. The div turns into snow on the floor.
Oh.
And then, like, again, another, like, just kind of a snap of time, it back into a scimitar, and you find it in your sheath. Originally, your level 8 thing was going to be when you used spiritual weapon, you just resolved an attack. But now we're gonna say, because this is, there's a lot of debate on whether or not Mistmourning was, like, an angel or, like, a very, very devout follower of Sarenrae, who was like brought up into angelhood, or was a celestial unicorn and the blade was forged from the horn of a unicorn. But when you cast it's up to you to make the stats. When you cast Spiritual Ally, it will manifest itself as a unicorn with the celestial template. It will do whatever damage a unicorn's gore attack will do, or the damage spiritual weapon would do, or spiritual ally, excuse me, whichever is greater.
Okay.
But it'll have more things to do other than just I can fly and attack things. The man just kind of looks dumbstruck. Make a quick perception check.
It's 21.
It dawns on you that, like, from the moment you accidentally killed Marcella, you were speaking in tongues, but you were speaking is like every third syllable was celestial, the rest of it was infernal, and it kind of just comes out as a polyglot of nothingness. You realize that Mistmourning had cast comprehend languages, or tongues rather, on you, so everyone could understand you. But from now on, when you your curse is no longer you speak celestial under duress, you speak a mess of celestial and infernal that will require a linguistics check to decipher. Oh, you have a sword. That sword's a +2 keen weapon now. Instead of a +1, the enhancement bonus increases to 2 Mistmourning. Becomes keen, which is why it was critting on 15 to 20. And bump both dice up by 1d6.
Okay, can I change this now or later?
Whenever, it doesn't matter.
Okay, because I don't want to be rustling around with paper while we're recording.
I appreciate it. Just remember.
Okay.
That priest comes back in. He looks at you, yeah, and he doesn't say anything. What he's gonna do is he moves over to Marcella, and he begins like trying to resurrect her. He takes the time to cast resurrection. He begins praying to Sarenrae, and the grace of the Dawnflower bring this soul back. Obviously the spell fails. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. He will just pull the sheet over her. It's around this time the door bursts open again. This time Mercutio waddles in. And another thing you missed last week is he had like 5 different voices. We've learned that Mercutio wears a lot of different hats throughout his career, and this has a lot of different voices. But well, there you are! We need to get you back to Mustafa's demiplane. Your friends have decided that they're gonna go into the butthole of the Empire and think it's gonna do some good and think it's not gonna just get them killed as usual, they're taking a lot of time to decide what even it is they're gonna do. But we need to get you up to the envy so we can figure out what's going on and so they don't just leave you here.
Tommy's dropping hints. Like his players are trying to can't make up their mind.
Mercutio is that NPC. Do you have anything else you want to do? Do you have anything else you want to do? Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish here? We gotta get a move on. Lucy is off killing chickens.
I guess I need a minute.
I understand, kid. He'd kind of like, you know how guys, when they can't show emotion, they'll kind of like awkwardly push other guys. You know what I'm talking about? He's cool. Punch on shoulder. You know what I'm talking about? But instead, it kind of like your hip. Because this is a halfling we're talking about here.
Or Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I understand, kid. Slaps you on the hip. Not on the butt. He's not a pervert. Come up to the envy whenever you're ready.
Okay.
And he just turns and waddles his obese self out. The soldier looks up at you and just, well, what should I do? I think I might be just as lost as you, friend.
Feels kind of like in video games where, like, the NPC can become your companion, and they're trying to, like, provoke that.
Kinda. Forgive me. He extends his hand. My name is Lieutenant Maxientus Andronicus Paulus. I'm gonna write that down really quick. That's a lot of names.
I'll just tell him that we can work together to try and figure out this whole life thing. He can, if he'd like to, he's not shouldn't feel obligated to. So I too was given the choice.
Make a diplomacy check. 22. Okay. He kind of like thoughtfully mulls it over. He draws his sword.
Ah!
Not aggressively. he draws his sword and kind of like just holds it up, looks at it.
I guess I could use a cooler one like yours.
Well, he is about to say, if you wouldn't interrupt me.
Sorry.
I suppose I'll need a scimitar.
You want to be a samurai friend?
He does.
Yay!
Is there anything else you would like to do here? He'll need a token now. I can't use a later antagonist who like blatantly has the Cheliax flag on a cape. That doesn't fly anymore. We'll need a new one.
I guess take a minute with Marcella, see if she has any like things.
Okay.
27.
All her gear has been lost. Her bow's missing, her arrows are missing. Her belts and rings and cloaks and things that she would have because she's a powerful PC. They're not here, but in like the back pocket of her pants you find. This was your character for a while. What could you find? It's not like, here's a belt of physical perfection plus 6. Get wrecked, Tommy's Encounters. You can't do that. But what would you find?
I guess I'd like a necklace or maybe like a locket with a picture of her mom in it because her mom died too.
That technology is a little beyond where she's from on Galarian, though. Because she's from the Mwangi Expanse, right? She's tribal as all get out.
Yeah, okay.
But she might have, I see what you're saying. She has a necklace. The beads on the necklace appear to be made of, like, animal bones or bits of teeth, but the centerpiece at the bottom of the necklace is, we'll say just like a little copper ring that hangs on the necklace. It appears to be not a whole lot of much, but it's what she's got.
I guess take like some hair of hers or something.
She is a frog.
Oh yeah, they don't have hair. I don't know why I thought
I guess she might have a little, I don't know how frogs work, but she doesn't have like luscious locks. A weird frog.
Like an eyelash? Something that on her that's not like gross that I can carry around. I like her fish.
But why would you want her eyelash?
So I can, in case we have an opportunity to res her.
Oh, yeah, you want some DNA.
I'm not trying to be like creepy.
There's probably, honestly, because you just need a little bit of DNA.
Yeah.
If you were to keep that necklace somewhere where like it wouldn't get dirty, that probably suffices.
All right, I'll just put it in my pocket. But like, what?
With all the dirt. This is medieval fantasy.
I'm not carrying dirt, actively like carrying a bag of dirt in my pocket or anything.
That would be bad.
But like maybe like front pocket, maybe like a special spot.
In your chainmail?
Marcella was a special. Okay, I probably have a shirt on underneath, and I'm not just walking out with my nipples out.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, you find some place to store it. Hey, there's Pogue.
Where?
Oh, he's just rolling this guy's checks. I thought he had a convenient thing to add. Okay, yeah, you're able to do so.
All right.
Mercutio, well, do you have anything else you want to do?
No, I took my moment. I took my moment of grief and my moment of I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
So mechanically speaking, today you've everybody has something bad going on with them this campaign. I'm thinking about making Donald's just he's a necromancer hanging out with a bunch of paladins because I feel like that's been bad enough for him. Enderling in combat has a 50% chance to treat all non-giants as enemies. Xandu, when he sleeps, he gets attacked by my great old one, Grandpa. You, when you cast positive energy spells, there is a 50% chance that it converts itself to a negative energy spell of like the next level up.
Ugh.
So Cure Light Wounds becomes Inflict Moderate, Cure Critical becomes Harm. That kind of thing, right? You got Miss Morning, Spiritual Ally becomes a Celestial Unicorn. It's up to you to print that sheet. It's up to you to figure out how that like functions. I should also say, when you cast this, Mist Morning will remain like in kind of like a ghostly form in your hand, so you don't just, oops, there goes my sword.
I was just gonna say that this might suck, Tom.
That's real bad. It will use your Bab plus Charisma if that's higher than the Unicorns. As you exit the triage center, Mercutio is just, he hasn't gone far. He's kind of standing outside the tent, like stamping his foot impatiently. Well, there you are.
Okay, I'm coming.
We gotta go, kid. Come on. And he
coming.
ambles up onto his riding dog. Let's go, Stavian. We gotta get her up to the demiplane. And do you speak Draconic?
Yes.
No. Jeez. Okay. Stavian looks back at because it's been established it can speak. Stavian looks back at Mercutio and just, you need to lose some weight, buddy. And kind of like just, it ambles its way forward. I'm really glad I wrote that dude's name down. I don't remember it. Maxientus follows you. Hey kid, before we get there, if you have any shopping you need to do, you might want to do it now, because these guys are probably going to get themselves killed, or at least put themselves in such a way that you're not going to have access to my fine multiverse connections that have been offering you
Fine Italian craftsmanship.
Fine Andoran craftsmanship. I see you got a lot of gold on you, and I know you haven't spent it. You might not have a chance again.
Thanks, Jim, for dropping
But really,
hits.
you might not have a chance again, and you have 30,000 gold. Might want to get rid of it.
I do have 30,000. I thought I had 13,000.
Nope.
30,000 gold's a lot more.
It is.
All right.
This is where we're going to call it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. For Van and for Joe and for Kane and for Donald, you guys will get your level 8 stuff next session. I'm just killing two birds with one stone here. Be sure, as always, to like and subscribe for more videos. We haven't talked about it yet, but we are over 424 subscribers. So, and I actually today got my first patron who I don't know. So we're working on getting up to that 150 a month Patreon mark to start running the Doomsday Dawn adventure path. If you'd like to know more about that, follow this card right here to be directed to the video. We'll see you next time. Say bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Hi guys, my name is still Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. We have to put a quick addendum on this video. In addition, Sarah Emeritus will now be actively, you are following Sarah and Ray's Paladin code. We'll stop and check every level if you've, walked that line. Failure to walk that line means you no longer get your spells from Sarah and Ray. You become an ex-oracle. You can't really, well, it's a fall from grace. You would fall from grace. This has very dire consequences for you.
Ah, crap.
Because it's like, imagine you're in a relationship with someone and then you leave that person for another person and then you're not doing what that person wants and then now you go back to, now you have no people, but this person wants to kill you, but this person wants your soul back so they can corrupt you. It's a very awkward place for you to
And
be.
confusing, jeez. Alright.
But really quickly, and what we're going to do is everyone in the party is going to hold you to this line. So guys, if you hear me right now, and I hope you do, if you hear me right now, every single solitary player, and not to call him out, but I know Joe will be good at this, including Joe, well, definitely including Joe, but Joe is he is lawful neutral. Look up lawful neutral in the dictionary. That's that dude.
Joe, the person, or are you talking
Not
about
Enderling. Not Enderling at all.
Wait a minute, Tommy.
Kill them and eat them. No, I'm talking the guy who's in law school. But okay, so Sarah, henceforth, you will protect your allies with your life. They are your light and your strength As you are their light and their strength, you rise together. You will seek out and destroy the spawn of the rough beast that's Rovagug. If you cannot defeat them, I can, I'm the GM. I will give my life trying. If my life would be wasted, your life, damn it, will be wasted in the attempt, you will find allies, if any fall, because of your inaction. Their deaths lie upon your soul, and you will atone for each. You are fair to others. You will expect nothing more for yourself, but what you need to survive. The best battle is the battle you win. If you die, you can't fight. You'll fight fairly when the fight is fair, and you will strike quickly and mercilessly when it is not fair. You will redeem the ignorant with your words and your actions. If they won't turn to the light, you'll redeem them by the sword. You will not abide evil and will combat it with steel when words aren't enough. You don't flinch from Sarenrae's faith, and you don't fear embarrassment. Your soul cannot be bought for all the stars in the sky. You will show the less fortunate the light of the Dawnflower. You will live your life as her mortal blade, shining with the light of truth. Each day is another step toward perfection. You will not turn back into the dark. Do you understand these terms and conditions of this faith that you were kind of like storyline forced into?
Yeah.
All right, great. Like and subscribe for more videos, guys. We'll see you around. Bye-bye.